Andy, you weren't able to play in the last matchup with the Eagles. How different does this week feel for you than last time? And were you part of the game planning meetings much that week?
Very little. This is obviously a different week. I was going through the whole recovery process with the concussion, so wasn't a part of much of it. I mean, I got to sit in some of the meetings, I think, towards the end of the week, but obviously this is a whole different week for me this time.
How's it been just preparing for their defensive front as a protection unit leading up to this game?
Yeah, it's one thing that you look at their defense. I mean, the first thing that you notice is their front, and so we got to be prepared for it. We got to know the matchups that we have, but it's a talented group up there.
Your offensive line has been able to string together about 240 consecutive snaps as a unit, and that type of stability is not something you guys have really had this season at all. What do you think that's done for the group, and what kind of progression have you seen from the group during that time?
Yeah, I mean, if there's one group that needs it, it's up front and on the offensive line, just from a communication standpoint to understanding, with them working together on so much in the run game and the pass game and everything. So, I mean, to have that consistency has been very nice. We like you said early on in the year, we didn't have that, and so the more that group works together, I think the better they've been.
Andy, y'all have 2 consecutive games without turnovers for the first time this season. What's the key to making it game 3, and what's been working in ball security?
I think it's been a point of emphasis for us, and just understanding that, usually the turnover margin that determines the game, the outcome of it. And so when you can win the turnover battle, more likely than not, you're going to win the game. So for us, we've just been conscious of it. And for me, being smart with the ball, and then as runners, just protecting it whenever you're getting around guys. And so I mean, it's been a big factor in the last several weeks.
How much is Christmas going to be like at the Dalton house this year?
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
What's Christmas going to be like at the Dalton house this year?
We've got some excited kids. Christmas is a lot of fun. Just with the ages of our kids. I mean, we're really looking forward to Santa coming tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, I'm looking forward to tomorrow and just to see how happy our kids are going to be.
How meaningful is it to you? How much is this 2-game win streak giving this team a bounce in the step, especially knowing that you still have a chance to make the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, this is the right time to be stringing some wins together, and so for us to finally get 2 back-to-back, the goal is now 3, and so for us, I mean, you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year, and we've been able to do that, and so we got to keep that momentum going.
How meaningful is it for you as a father and as a husband to have Christmas Day at home, no practice, and just be able to be there at home?
Yeah, and it means a lot. I mean, just to get that time with your family, and especially for me, having young kids, get to be there in the morning when they wake up, and just to experience the whole thing. I mean, it's so much fun being a parent, being a father, and just to see how excited our kids are going to be. So we're fortunate they get to spend it at home this year.
How old are your kids again?
6, 3, and 1.
And is this something that was always the case, say, in Cincinnati, where Christmas would be at home if there was no game, or how did this schedule differ, if at all, from what you're accustomed to?
Yeah, I'm sure years I've had completely off. Some I've had to come in the afternoon, so it's kind of been different every year. But this year it's nice that we have the whole day off.
Stephen Jones said earlier this week that they would like to have you back next year. Have you thought about that? And would you like to be back here next year?
There's a lot to be determined in the future. That's not my focus right now. We've got 2 games left. I'm trying to do everything I can to help this team win right now, and we'll see what happens in the future. I've obviously enjoyed my time here. I've loved being in Dallas, but there's still a lot to happen when we get to the off season. My focus is these next 2 games.
Maybe when you signed in May, you talked about wanting to work with Coach McCarthy as one of the reasons that Dallas was appealing. What are some of the top things you've learned from him about the game this season?
Well, it's been just a lot of fun to work with him and just the interactions that we've been able to have. Preparing for games and being on the sideline. One thing that he's always asking, "Hey, what do you like? What do you want in certain situations?" And I think that's important because you're the one with the ball in your hands. So I've really enjoyed my time here with Mike and just to see how he operates and just to see how he does things. And like I said, I've really enjoyed it.
As you may well be aware, Kellen has been linked as a possible candidate for the Boise State head coach job. What have your impressions been of just Kellen in your season together with him?
Kellen's a great coach. I got to play against him when he was at Boise State, and so just to see him as a player, and then his NFL career, and then now his coaching career, he's done an unbelievable job. He's one of those guys that to be where he's at, he's worked really hard for it, and it's very deserving. And so Kellen's an unbelievable coach, and he's going to be for a long time.
What's the dynamic like when you're older than your offensive coordinator?
I'm only older by a year, but it's been a lot of fun. We can go back and talk about things that we've both experienced from college to the NFL and all that kind of stuff. We're kind of on that same timeline of our careers. Obviously, he's in the coaching world now. I'm still playing, but it's been fun working with a guy that's my age and just a little younger.